Don't know who to vote for this weekend? Use my self-interest voting Venn diagram. So let's hit the drawing board. First, you create a Venn diagram. You draw 3 circles and they overlap each other. And if you're like 90% of my clientele who come to me for, property maximizing accumulation strategies, you put in here maximize negative gearing as one benefit. And for most of my clients who are landlords, the second benefit would be, landlord rights. And the last perk of this Venn diagram is I would put someone that doesn't look like Voldemort. Then the way the Venn diagram works is then we look at the benefits and see how they overlap, and then the shaded parts will represent the political party that I'll be voting for. So currently the political party that still support negative gearing and don't wish to abolish it is, currently the Libs. In terms of supporting landlord rights, well, currently the Libs are enforcing laws like banning no grounds eviction for tenants. I don't like that. And the Libs are extending end-of-term fixed contracts from 30 to 45 days. I don't like that. But in terms of maximizing my greedy landlord agendas, I'll put the Libs in this shade. Now let's look at the 2 other quadrants of this Venn diagram. We have maximize negative gearing, which I'm in favor for. But then I don't want to vote a party in that basically has a Voldemort face representing that party. And since Labour took a U-turn on negative gearing, Labour has decided to drop policies that look to curb negative gearing. And then we have one of the Libs that look like Voldemort that could potentially run our country one day. Imagine Voldemort as Prime Minister. This shade goes to Labour. Now we're down to the final quadrant, which is increased landlord rights, obviously for my agenda. And I don't want any party that has that Voldemort vibe, or any party that's related to Sliver and ScoMo that, obviously hold multiple positions during his prime time as PM. I'll take my bet and I'll put in Labour for this shade. Now, on the other side of the universe, for you first home buyers who usually watch my videos, you might support the Sliver and Libs because, they have the annual land tax, so you don't need to pay your stamp duty up front. But then you might swing to Labour because they're proposing to abolish stamp duty altogether up to $800,000. Or if you're a renter, you might swing to the Gryffindor Greens because they're thinking of introducing rent freezing for tenants and raising the standards of rental accommodation. For example, all places must have waterproofing. But wake up, guys, let's go back to the self-absorbed landlords like myself. Labour takes this Venn diagram and this quadrant, and the Libs take this quadrant. 2 beats 1, so for me, I'm voting for Labour. And as a migrant Asian minority of Australia, who cannot forget our old mate legend, Gough Whitlam, which with his leadership, he abolished the White Australia policy. He was the man that championed multiculturalism. So that's my thoughts and that's my Venn diagram. I'd love to know your thoughts. Either roast me or toast me. Jump in the comments. Love to read your comments.